Our next panelist I would like to ask the same question is Mr. Leonard Brayton, who's an Associate Director of Student Development and RISE Mentoring at St. John's University. Lenny, I would like you to also respond to the same question. Could you speak about some of the ways in which you have seen and experienced policies enacted in such a way that they have been affected by trauma?
Thank you, Allison. Again, my name is Lenny Breton. I am a Black male with dark brown skin, a bald head, black beard with some sprinkling of salt in there. I'm wearing a red St. John's polo shirt. Handsome is a relative term, so I'll leave that out for today. And I use he, him, his affirming pronouns. To me, racialized trauma is being a Black male educator and feeling the immense pressure to be informed, more informed than any person I'm speaking with at any time, particularly regarding race-related conversations, because I feel that it is my responsibility to not miss any opportunity that I can to convince a potential ally or detractor that racial trauma is real. Dr. Byfield mentioned this in her comments, talking about questioning oneself, and I find myself questioning my own ability on the job or being appointed to a committee because I wonder if I'm there because of my qualifications or if it is because of some new initiative that is supposed to increase diversity, well-intentioned or not. Having to keep a positive and affable demeanor when in public or in social settings because strangers might see me or perceive me in a way that I don't want them to. And we're going to talk about interaction with law enforcement and realizing that because of my size and because of my complexion that I may fit a description, and seeing some of the effects of people that look like me and what happens to them regardless of their backgrounds, not one to be in that particular category. So when we talk about trauma, I speak from a personal perspective regarding that, because the cumulative effects of racism on an individual is more than just mental, it's also physical. When we talk about what was happening throughout the pandemic, which was sparked by what happened in Minnesota, I envisioned my own name as a hashtag and wondered what it would be like if something happened to me and what folks would say about me after I'm gone. And when I share that with others, it seems to be jarring, but that seems to be the type of emotion that I want to evoke from those that do care about me, because there's something that's missing and there was a disconnect. And why did it take that much for people to recognize that policies do need to change and trauma is very real for people without having to validate that with statistics or information? We're able to trust someone with no political experience to lead our government at the highest position, but I need to be a doctor or a statistician to have you believe that what I feel is real. When we think about the shut up and dribble with athletes, when we think about athletes like Jackie Robinson and Muhammad Ali, they couldn't just be athletes during that time in their lives. They probably wanted to be, but they couldn't. But because they stepped out of their lane, they caused some long-lasting change in sports and in society, which made the way for the likes of Colin Kaepernick, LeBron James, and others. So when I have a chance to speak on panels like this one, I ask that I am revered for who I am while I'm still here. Don't revere me when I'm gone, in the likes of Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or others in that sense. What do we know about the relationship between discrimination and mental health and trauma? Without being a mental health specialist, I know enough to know that what I experience is traumatic and it has an impact on my formation, on my being, on myself. I am an expert in my own experience, and I don't need science or resources to validate those experiences to anybody. Fortunately, science still does support these feelings, and we have panelists here today that are going to speak to that much better than I can. It is no longer my responsibility to manage my emotions and compartmentalize my trauma so that others can hopefully understand me better. But that is also something that I face as a dilemma being an educator. If I don't teach you, who will. If I don't teach you, will you ever learn? For those that are here today, it is clear that you want to learn and you want to share. So my hope is that after these conversations, you challenge those around you, and hopefully you take something positive from today, and we can continue these dialogues and force these policy changes that do support people from all walks of life.
Thank you so much for that, Lenny. That, again, really powerful personal experiences that I think offer insight for those who may not have heard somebody who they know, or someone from our university really speak about the way that you've experienced it. And and you don't have to do that, obviously. This is an obvious matter. Like, we all know that racism exists, but we really truly appreciate you sharing that, because I think it offers a lot of insight for those who may not have heard that from you before. So thank you.